Tesla has been great to me. I've owned a Tesla Model 3 and a Tesla Model Y. Bought the 3 in 2022, sold it last year. So we've just had the Tesla Model Y for about a year now. And it's time we add another vehicle to the stable. The first pick was none other than the Tesla Cybertruck. We know we want to get into a pickup truck next. We're still kind of deciding, do we want to spend a bunch of money on a pickup truck, or do we just want to buy a used Tesla Model Y in the sub $40,000 range, Canadian? And you know, we're still kind of debating that. But the F-150 Lightning, I did test drive one. Well, test drove two. I drove a Lightning Flash and a Lightning Lariat, fully spec'd out trim. Really like the Lariat trim. There's just a bunch of options and upgrades there. Plus there's more on the used market that you can get at a reasonable price in the $65,000 to $55,000 Canadian range. Whereas if you're getting a Flash, you're in the $80,000 up. Or if you're getting a newer Lariat or Platinum trim, you're over $100,000 new, unless you can get some sort of a discount from a dealer in that $85,000, $90,000 range, which is still a ton of money. But the Tesla Cybertruck there is $140,000 and up, new. Used, sometimes you can see them for 115, 110,000 Canadian. Still, that's too much money. Now, Cybertruck drives way better. It has the Tesla supercharger network. Steering's way better, efficiency's better with the battery versus how much, how far it can go. With F-150, bigger battery, goes about the same distance as a Cybertruck with a bigger battery. Efficiency loss. The front though is bigger. The steering sucks. Like the steering radius and all that sucks compared to any Teslas. But if you're considering buying a Lightning and you already have a pickup truck, it's basically the same steering and all that. So that doesn't change. The ride quality though in the F-150 Lightning is better. It's a smoother ride. I do find that there's overall more space in that truck. The back seat especially has a lot more space. The front, as I mentioned, has more space, more storage cubbies and cup holders, which I do like that in the F-150 Lightning. So there's a lot of positives there. Downsides are the charging network or lack thereof. Now the Blue Oval network is said to be pretty good. Now I haven't done too much digging into the whole charging infrastructure and how that works, but I do know that you can use Tesla's supercharger network through the app with the F-150 Lightning. Now charging though is going to cost you double or so, which definitely adds to the cost of driving it on road trips. But I figure we have the Tesla Model Y for road trips for our annual trip down to Florida, which last year we actually went twice. So we put on about 10,000 kilometers of road trip kilometers on that Tesla Model Y. This year, again, we're going to do that again. Road trip series coming, so subscribe, stay tuned to the channel for that. F-150 Lightning though, I don't know if we would want to take it all the way down to Florida from the GTA area here in Canada, Toronto area, for those unfamiliar with it. Yeah, it might be something we would do, but what I would like to do is do like a build out series if I buy an F-150 Lightning. Put some bigger tires on it, get some 33s. The 35s on the Cybertruck look sick. You need some trimming of the fender liners and wheel wells and all that on F-150 Lightning to get 35s in there. I did some 33s, did a leveling kit because I don't tow. It would make it look that much more mean and nice. And I think doing like a bumper replacement would be nice as well, and some other upgrades. So any companies out there that do F-150 accessories, definitely send me an email down below and we can chat and see what we can do if I decide to go that route. Although I've been thinking about this offline now for quite a while, trying to figure out decisions on next vehicles, and I think that's the route that I'm leaning towards right now. You're gonna have to subscribe, stay tuned to see if I go that way or if I end up buying another Tesla Model Y. Now the Tesla Model Y is just such a good vehicle that it's hard to kind of divert away from it and go to a brand that's newer in the electric space and that I don't necessarily fully trust yet. Now, in my neighborhood, driving around, just in general, I see a ton of F-150 Lightnings, so they can't be all that bad, and the used market is not just flooded with them. So We know people that are buying them, are keeping them, are driving them, are putting kilometers on them. And there's quite a few available for sale that have almost 100,000 kilometers on them. So people have driven them for a long time and are selling them now. Now, is it scary to buy something close to 100,000 kilometers when that battery warranty is getting closer to being expired? Maybe. But it would make for interesting YouTube content, so subscribe. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the F-150 Lightning? Is it a good truck? Have you driven one? Now, there's a lot of people that make comments about trucks, and electric cars especially. They've never even driven them. Now, I've driven the F-150 Lightning, I've driven the Cybertruck, I've driven all the other Teslas, I've driven Hyundai Ioniq 5s, I've driven pretty much all the different electric vehicles that there are. They each have their flaws, they each have their positives, so it's all down to preference. It's just like gas vehicles as well, and whether you go gas or electric, does it really matter? As long as you are enjoying the vehicle that you're driving and it makes the most sense for you. Now, I'm not someone that's pushing electric vehicles on everyone. I just find for my use case, for how I live my life as a real estate agent, being able to serve my clients, drive anywhere without being like, oh no, if I drive to that location, show them houses there, it's going to cost me $60 in gas. And what if they don't buy anything? I don't want to have to think about that. I just want to serve my customers as best as I can. Drive there, spend my time, show them, educate them on houses and their options, and then move on. Like, as a real estate agent, especially in this market, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but this market, the market is flooded. So there's lots of driving, there's lots of showings, there's not a lot of buying happening. And having an electric vehicle basically removes all those fears and that additional expense of paying all this money on gas. I can just spend my time educating, working in the best interests of my client and not focusing on my expenses of fuel costs. That's why I've gone electric and I've loved it and not looked back. And in fact, you can basically see my EV ownership experience here on the channel. And I will be doing a 2-year update on the Tesla Model Y here soon. So subscribe, stay tuned. Let me know what you think of my almost decision of getting an F-150 Lightning. And if you want to see more videos, subscribe, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.